good win tonight. Sam White had an incredible game. Reese Bassinger had an awesome game. Reinhardt, there was a lot of great individual performances. Got down early, didn't go our way. Ball kind of squirted away from a catcher. Logan got thrown out at second base. We had a wind ball drop in left field, bounce directly to the left fielder, get thrown out of the plate. So 2 outs on the bases in the first inning is not how you love to start after a 16-inning contest where you lose at home. And so I thought the guys were really resilient to kind of just stay with it. Big swing of the bat from Sam to tie the game up. They took the lead again with a solo homer, and we answered pretty emphatically with a 7-run fourth inning, which was cool. Our offense really got going. We can score in big numbers, change the lineup up a little bit today. Peraza hadn't played a ton, and he hadn't been in a good spot. The guy who started on the mound today is significantly worse against left-handed hitters, so really wanted to get an additional left-handed hitter in there. So Logan Sauve being able to catch after a 16-inning contest and do it again allowed for us to put Peraza in left, which was really, really nice, and he had a great game. So really proud of Mike Peraza. After not seeing the ball very well, he drew a walk and had a hit and blasted a ball left center field gap that ended up getting caught in his first at-bat, but kind of felt like we got a left-handed bat back today, which is always a good feeling, same as if a reliever goes out there and throws and he's really good, you feel like you pick up a player, and that's how I feel about Mike Peraza today. But guys played tough. Bassinger through 5 innings and 5.1 innings and closed the door, and so proud of the effort. Got a chance to win a series on a Sunday in the Big 12. That's always a goal.
You mentioned yesterday you were going to might extend the pitcher, give him a little bit more leash if something goes bad. Did that come into play with either one? I mean, Reese only got challenged once really, but Gavin gave up some hard hit balls, but like you said, battled through it.
Yeah, I think early on we didn't love where Gavin was at. Didn't have command, didn't have a splitter for a strike. Fastball wasn't getting swing and miss at the top of the zone like it normally does. And so I think we were a little bit antsy, especially after losing Friday night, going down a couple runs. You're going, should we give somebody else a chance? But you just know over the course of a 3-game series, if your starters end up going 3 innings, got a chance to be a long weekend. So we definitely did give him a little bit more leash, and he battled. And when he left the game, we were down a run, and so he certainly gave us a chance to win the game. He competed. I think for us, we're really working, we need our starting pitchers to come out of the gates with all their stuff, kind of like relief pitchers. You want to come out of the bullpen and make sure that all your stuff is crisp, and you literally, it's 1 pitch at a time, 1 hitter at a time, 1 inning at a time. It feels like our starts so far this weekend have been a little felt out. Like, let me feel and see if I can land my slider for a strike. Let's see where the fastball's at. We need to do a better job setting the tone if we're going to be great in the first inning.
In your time here, you've obviously seen a lot of relievers come in and have performances like Chase had last night, like Reese had tonight. When they're out on the mound, is there like a look that you see from them, or is there something that you see from a reliever and you can kind of tell this is the guy who's going to be able to be out there and get us an extended outing?
Yeah. I can't necessarily describe what it is all the time. Sometimes how the ball's spinning out of their hand. You just see so many swings, and you see their arm work so much, and you watch batting practice, and you see bullpens and see games, and sometimes just like the definition maybe is like a guy's fastball's crisp, and the velocity might be the same, but it's almost like where he's releasing the ball and how the ball's spinning, and obviously if it's hitting the glove where you're setting up. So the command is really big, but legitimately how the ball spins out of the fingers sometimes gives you an indication if a guy's like sharp that day. And so part of the goal is to make sure that they're recovering and you pitch them the right amount. It's a fine balance. You can't overwork guys, but you can't underwork them either. And so each guy you're trying to learn the best of your ability of who bounces back, who can go on short rest, who could go 20 pitches on 1 week and then 100 the next. And so and they're young guys, so they're always evolving. And so that's part of the magic, I think, of running a pitching staff.
Pulling Logan, is that extra rest for tomorrow?
No, he banged up his shoulder on that double to the right center field gap when he was on first, the bases clearing double by Sam White. He slid into the plate and landed on his shoulder and kind of jarred it. And so he's going to get it checked out tonight. We don't know if it's anything too serious, but it was definitely bothering him when he went behind the plate and started receiving in between innings.
Coach, obviously there was a lot of wind out there today, but your fielders made a couple really good plays. Brody Cresser, Skylar King. I mean, the agility that they have out there, it's got to be pretty good for defense. Right?
Ugh, Skylar King doing it twice now in the last week. Those were full extension, really special catches. Sometimes you'll go a whole season without seeing somebody make that. So to see the same guy within a week span catch similar ball in the same gap was really cool. He caught some balls really deep on the warning track and against the fence tonight as well. You know, those hit the fence or the turf, and you're talking about a different game. It can swing really fast. And so those are game-changing plays for sure. And Brody Cresser, that was crazy. I thought there was no chance off the bat. Wind blowing out, he starts sprinting backwards, and you're going, there's no chance. You're just hoping it's not a double. And so for that guy to lay out running backwards on a ball, that's just a very difficult catch.
We asked Jace if, after last night, approach tries to change coming to today with all the strikeouts last night. He said just essentially, cutting out part of the zone was a big emphasis for you guys. Did you see a better approach overall throughout the lineup today from your guys?
For sure, we cut our strikeouts in an eighth or something, right? So that was good. Yeah, we swung at a high fastball yesterday. It felt like 100 times. And so today's guy was a little bit similar. He had a high ride fastball, induced vertical break up in the zone. It took off arm side a little bit. And so even the first pitch of the game was up and into Brody Cresser, one of those fastballs that players think is lower than it actually is, and it takes off. And we did a nice job not swinging at that today. So guys made an adjustment. Sometimes when things don't go your way in baseball, you try harder, you swing harder, and that's usually the worst possible thing that you can do. You end up getting stuck in quicksand and kind of fighting. So it looked like our guys kind of took a deep breath and believed that they could beat somebody and let their talent show up.
Coach Reese said that it doesn't matter where he plays or how much he plays, just that he gets a win. But with an outing like today, any chance that he comes out and starts the game or two?
Yeah, we've said that since we recruited him. His sophomore year he started. His junior year he was in the pen. And then this fall we even trained him as a starter and as a reliever, both. And I think sometimes we have to trust our staff and our eyes of what we've seen kind of for this big long-term picture. But, of course, like, guy goes 5 innings and dominates, and you're going, well, would you like to do that in the beginning of the game? And Chase Meyer, same way. He went 5 innings and dominated. And so absolutely crosses your mind. It's kind of a puzzle piece situation where some guys are better suited for that, because late in the game you usually need more stuff for strikeouts. Feels like the outs later in the game are more difficult. So it's a great question, and there's not necessarily a finite answer other than you're looking for guys to start the game who can, eat innings. Ideally, your starters are going 5 innings and getting wins and being able to hand the ball to the bullpen. This team, I'm learning might be a little bit different. We all keep talking about the depth and keep talking about the depth. Maybe we do need to pass the ball quicker to somebody and not let a starter see an opponent line up the third time through. That's a little bit of a pro ball model where they kind of go to the horses quicker. But we have some great stuff in the bullpen, so I'm learning as we go, and the guys were great today, and Reese Bassinger was certainly great today.
How important is a win like this after a long one last night heading into the rubber match tomorrow?
Great feeling. Regardless of win or loss, I think our guys showed up with a good attitude. And sometimes, going to bed last night was hard. Waking up this morning is hard. Some of those guys got opportunity on our team that didn't have a lot of opportunities previously and didn't have success. So if you're a guy that's been working your ass off and you get that shot and then you don't capitalize on the shot, it's like it can feel like you're the lowest low. It's hard to get out of bed. And I thought everybody came into the facility today and made a big effort to have positive energy and give a little bit of love back and kind of push past it. our team's not used to losing is the reality, which is a good thing. But it's like it didn't feel good waking up this morning. So to maybe get past that, or they can attribute a win to their attitude and how they showed up today, that's positive for the team long term.
Before the game today, weather's terrible out there, game gets delayed a half hour. How much were you able to use the new facility? Is there rules with that at all?
No, we used it today for the first time. I was a little uncomfortable because when it was raining and spitting and 40 degrees, I was like, this is more like a Mountaineer baseball game. This is what we needed to get going. I felt great about it, and our team takes a lot of pride in that. Like, whether it's a team from Arizona or Texas or Florida, it's always like, I hope it's 36 and like sleeting outside. That would be the best matchup. I was a little uncomfortable because I was like, man, are we getting soft? We were inside hitting off high-tech pitching machines, and we had the starting pitcher that we were going to face on iPads, and then in the corner we had the pickoff move and the picks to second, and our players were getting reads and jumps off a screen. So they're looking at a screen and seeing what the pitcher does, how many looks, how many nods, whatever. And I was like, this is really cool, but I'm a little uncomfortable because it's like first time in 10 years where we weren't getting wet and cold warming up for a game when it rains. And it does that quite a bit here in the spring. I mean, it's 5 to 10 games where it's just like after BP, you're soaking and you change underwear and shirts. And I was like, this is really nice. This is pretty cool. So today was the first day that we've ever used it pregame.
Coach, you've mentioned before that you're a big stuff guy. Reese Baxter goes out, pitches 5 innings. And, I mean, you look at his off-speed pitches, looks like no one could touch him. He was able to get him really well. So obviously, Reese has really good stuff. How important is it to have a guy like that on the staff?
Yeah, he's interesting. I would say like his best attribute is probably the competitiveness and the strikes and the mix. He does have good stuff, but it's not high velocity. It's 89 with a good breaking ball, but it's not 22 inches of horizontal, and it's not high spin, and the changeup's good, but it's heart, it's competitiveness. It's never afraid to throw any pitch in any count. That's what really makes him great. So it's a 3-2 changeup, it's a 3-2 slider, it's a challenge a guy, the best hitter with a fastball. He's just never afraid. And there's something to that with pitchers. It's the conviction behind the ball. Like, you always see guys with high velocity and nastier stuff than Reese get hit, and it's like a timidness or a not conviction behind the ball. So for whatever reason, maybe I'm delirious, but that plays. The conviction plays.